the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
But I have a disappointment for some who saddled up, settled in, poured yourself two, maybe three fingers worth. Baseball. World Baseball Classic style. And much like what we do see in the month of October, pitching better than the hitting. And that is the bottom line when you get down to it. The United States were 1 for 26 last night if you were not named Bryce Harper, who hit a bomb, an absolute mortar to deep center. And I thought he inspired the guys. I thought he picked up the guys, but they would give it away in the very next inning. And, you know, to turn around and Garrett Whitlock comes in, walks the batter. Travis Rogers comes in. Tyler Rogers, walks the batter. And you do that, and you got to give yourself a chance. First pitch strikes. I don't have the math in front of me. I don't have the data in front of me. I'll save that for the nerds of the world. But there's such a difference between starting a hitter 0-1 and 1-0. And that's exactly what these relievers did a night ago. All right. You look at it, Rogers, first pitch strikes 0 for 3. He faced 3 batters and couldn't get ahead in the count. And if you're not a diehard baseball fan, you're like, what the hell's Blue talking about? Well, let me explain it to you in a one-horse town that is football only. On 1st and 10, old school used to be what? 1st and 10, 2nd and 7, 3rd and 2, first down. 3.4 yards, clot of dust. Move the sticks, take clock, rest your defense. If this was football, starting with a ball is like getting sacked and losing 8 yards on first down. So you're looking at a 2nd and 18. And that's exactly what they did last night. Both relievers, a stolen base, sacrifice fly, and that ends up being, the difference in the baseball game. So, it is what it is. The United States, you just enjoyed the electricity and everything that was the Olympic Games, and particularly the sport of hockey. For both the women and the men, they knocked off Canada to win the gold. And it just felt like people who are not hockey fans gravitated towards the television to watch them both. And just to see how they scored in historic fashion. I mean, go back to the girl. I can't remember the lady's name. I do apologize. Megan. See if you can look. Was it Megan Trotter? Maybe. See if you can look up. Scored the winning goal for the United States women's hockey team. I should know it, but it has slipped away for me. And then, of course, Jack Kaiser with the game winner. In the 3-on-3 situation in overtime for the men. Same deal with the women, 3-on-3 during the overtime process. But, a lot of fans made their way towards it and kind of took a glory cut, and that's fine. I'm never going to – Megan Keller, thank you. Megan Keller. I'm going to write that down. She deserves all the credit she's received, but, she should, in my world, she should be one of the most famous – she's the all-time leading scorer in anything that is the Olympic Games, including men's, okay? She has the most goals lifetime in the Olympic Games for the United States and has the most total points lifetime in the Olympic Games for the United States. So we lived through that, and it was just great. And then last night, it's like it's a real stinker. It is. And, I don't like to make excuses. I hate them. But I wonder if they're valid. Okay. And I just look at this and I look at the timing of it. Now, you can turn around and say, well, Venezuela had to deal with it this way. The Dominican Republic had to deal with it this way. And they got the benefit of, or the United States got the benefit of that low strike on that great at bat by Perdomo. I think it was an 8 and maybe 9 pitch at bat. But we hear all the time what in baseball? Guys struggle in April. They're slow getting out of the gate, right? They're not into it yet. There's always a player, one of the best in the game, and you're like, boy, they just can't get it going. Well, they play this event then. You compare that to the Olympic Games. Everyone's on top of their game. Granted, guys are beaten up because they've played a lot in the NHL, but look at when they did it. Midway through the season. You hear all the time, and I'm one of them. Oh, don't you wish that the Ryder Cup was played when it wasn't football season? Don't you wish the Ryder Cup was played in February or March or, and I'll be the first to raise my hand. I pay so much attention to the PGA Tour. I love this time of year. I love the West Coast swing. I love the Florida swing. They go to the Snake Pit tomorrow. Then they head out to Texas for a couple of weeks. Then it's the Masters. I mean, I'm in. But once football gets here and once they complete their final major, I kind of check out. I just do. So whether it's the Ryder Cup or the President's Cup, you can really make the case that it comes during when these golfers are playing the best that they have all year, right? I think we'd agree with that. Although my eyeballs aren't on it the way that it normally would be. I mean, I used to hear forever as well, and you out there certainly heard it. Why would you have the biggest race of the year as your first race at the Daytona 500? If it's the Super Bowl of racing, why do they put it out there in February? And I used to come back from Chicago every year, and I used to go when I was in Tallahassee and here, you name it. I've been there. I was there when Dale won. I was there, unfortunately, when Dale Earnhardt died. I've been there for so many events, and it seems like it rains every single February, but they never change it. With that said, can you make an excuse for the United States that these guys right now are not focused? These guys right now are not in mid-June baseball shape? Or is it just a sorry-ass excuse? I'll ask you about it. Once again, Aaron Judge, the big stage, on F. The captain, he walked off the bench. He walked off the bus and through the tunnel like he was Muhammad Ali. I don't think I've ever criticized a walk from the bus in the bowels of a stadium. He thought he was the king of the hill. He went 0 for 4 last night with 3 strikeouts. The captain. The big game. Okay? And I get it. He finally snapped an awful playoff run a year ago. Okay? It was his best playoffs ever. But he has always been known as a guy that can't get it done under the bright lights. Bring Cleveland into Yankee Stadium for a June 9th, 10th, and 11th 3-game set. And Judge is going to hit 4 home runs in those 3 games, going to have 10 RBIs, and the people say he's the MVP, he's the MVP, he's the MVP. Put him up there with the game on the line? He's not Michael Jordan. He's not Wayne Gretzky. He's not Tiger Woods. He's not Larry Bird. He's not Magic Johnson. He's not Bob Gibson. He's not David Ortiz. He's not Manny Ramirez. He's not Derek Jeter. He's not Lou Gehrig. He's not Babe Ruth. He's not Joe DiMaggio. He's not Mickey Mantle. He's not Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. He's a failure under the bright lights. Buxton. My goodness. Byron Buxton. That was one of the worst at-bats. I think I've ever seen. I mean, it's like, you're facing Eduardo Rodriguez, who's he's a batting practice pitcher. No guts. I watched every one of his starts in Boston a year ago. No guts from this guy. And he shut down the United States of America. He did it. Kyle Schwarber, the only player to hit over 300. And he was 0 for 3 last night with 3 strikeouts. Actually, Bryce Terang hit over 300 as well. So, just move on. Get over it, Blue. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's amazing, though, win or lose or win, how things really do change. I got a lot of hype on this yesterday. It's the loss. It's like no big deal. Yet if you compare it to the United States winning the gold medal in hockey, both women's and men, just look at what it did to you. Look at what it did to your neighbors. Look at what it did to your colleagues. It was great to be around. It really was. So a disappointment by the men. I thought they made a mockery of it anyway by selecting DeRosa as a manager. I mean, what a clown move. And there were some situations here that you really have to look out and say, what is going on? Why wasn't Gunnar Henderson in there? I mean, Cal Raleigh hit 60 home runs a year ago. You're 1 for 26. If Cal Raleigh played in New York and Aaron Judge played in Seattle, guess who wins the MVP last year? Think about it. You're not even going to give him the bat and give him an opportunity. So, yeah, some bad managing by a guy who's not qualified to be a manager. And I get it. You can't go take an active manager from one of the teams and say, coach the baseball class. But you certainly could find a former manager, just for the couple of weeks, a recently retired manager, someone who knows the game. Not to say that DeRosa doesn't know the game. There's a difference between knowing the game and managing a game. It's huge. You got to have a feel, and everything is so mathematical nowadays. I still think you got to push the right button. You got to go with a gut instinct. Oh, we got to match the lefty against the lefty. Oh, we got to match a righty against the righty. I mean, that's what you have, and it's so by the book. That's why I like Liam Cohen, because even though we try to get into the analytics, we don't know what the analytics are. The Jaguars have different analytics from Pro Football Focus. They have different analytics from, Stats Inc. or whatever it is. They have ESPN stats, whatever you may go to get your information, just because they have it that way. Jacksonville has it a totally separate way. And I love when it comes up on 4th down and, the broadcast will say, well, according to our analytics, they got a 38% chance of making it on 4th and 3. And then another example will be it's 4th and 1, and we've just received this from our, those in the truck who are heading up data. Jacksonville's got a 62% chance of making it here on 4th. It's like they provide their own data as far as analytics, thinking that that's the way that wrong. Liam Cohen has no idea what is coming out of the truck from a broadcast team. The Jaguars, headed up by Tony Khan, have their own analytics department. And it just seems like Liam Cohen is a guy who will go with his gut. Maybe he's not going true to the data. Maybe he's not going by the way that the book says you're supposed to go. He's trusting his instincts. He's looking at how his football team is playing. He's always been the aggressive gambler on 4th down, and he's going to go for it. Wish we had a little bit more of that in baseball. We do not. So there you go. That's it. Regular season begins next week, and we'll fall into the regular season of 162 games. I think it's been very convenient for a lot of people just to dismiss this because they lost. And I'm not going to do that. I mean, Bobby Witt. You just go on and Bobby Witt Jr., you just go on and on and on. These guys were handcuffed all night long. And, look at the Venezuela team. Rodriguez, 10 of 15 first pitch strikes. Machado, 3 of 6. Bizardo, 2 of 2. Zerpa, 2 of 3. It matters. It's like getting yards on first down. It absolutely matters in Major League Baseball. Okay. Coming up tonight, Jaguars talk, John Osher. Coming up tonight, the bracket. I have filled it out. I'm going to run through it in record time. I just am. I'm never going to bite the hand that feeds me, especially in a town here where the Gators are defending national champions. Also in a town here where Florida State that's right, they quit. I wish their football team quit against Georgia a couple of years ago. They have elected not to play in the NIT, which is disappointing. I think they really had an opportunity to win that championship. Can you think of how proud everyone would have been when they raised the banner of winning the NIT? Think about that. And it's not going to happen. But we got the bracket. And again, I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds me, but damn, it's tough these days with all these transfers. Yeah, I'm looking at some blue blood schools, and I'm thinking of prominent players that have come out of there. And it's just like, really? Is this where we're at? And again, you're playing for if you're a fan, you're all about the name on the front of the jersey. The back of the jersey doesn't really matter these days because of the way they come and go. Nonetheless, I'm going to give you my bracket here momentarily. All right, Shmunez Vision, I hope you have good eyes. I've been telling you all the time, and I'm always going to keep telling you to make yourself an appointment today. First off, imagine going in there and finding out that your eyesight has changed significantly. Probably has. I mean, as you get older, your eyes aren't going to get better, right? They're only going to get worse. But you may have trouble reading, right? You got to go to the readers. And then all of a sudden you want to see something on television, you got to take them off. Imagine 20/20 for the rest of your life. Imagine laser eye surgery. Okay, very affordable. Make an appointment today. Go in, get an examination, and then talk to Dr. Neil Shmunez, Catherine Shmunez, Dr. John Hunt about this process. All right. They'll answer each and every one of your questions, explain everything to you. And if you elect to have surgery, you're talking about more than 37 years worth of experience. Check them out online, Shmunez Vision. Check them out on Instagram at Shmunez Vision as well. All right. We're jam-packed. It's a Wednesday night. We're on the road Thursday and Friday. So we're going to shut down the studio tonight at 8 o'clock, but fired up for the show, fired up for the rest of the week. It's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Let's get things started on a Wednesday edition of Into the Night.
I'm the voice of the Gators, Sean Kelly, on the home of the Gators, 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Every time your team makes a move,
This kid could be the game breaker we're looking for.
1010XL will break it down.
We're professionals. We have a job to do, a season to plan.
Follow the road to the regular season with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
Save big and head to Ronnie's Repair on Sunbeam Road, your local sales and servicing Toro dealer, for their spring sales event next week. Ronnie's offers the full line of residential and commercial Toro zero-turn, stand-on, and walk-behind mowers in gas and battery options. Get groundbreaking savings on Toro Time Cutter, Titan, and Z-Master zero-turns, Grandstand multi-force stand-ons, and walk-behind mowers. Take advantage of the Toro 0% financing or Toro rebate on select mowers. Stop in next week between the 25th and 27th to check out great deals and amazing finance offers. Ronnie's has everything you need to make your lawn look the best in the neighborhood. For more details on spring sales event deals, visit your local Toro dealer. Ronnie's Repair on Sunbeam Road. Browse the entire Toro line at ronniesrepairshop.net. All handhelds and accessories will be 10% off during the spring sales event.
All right, Jackson, let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Budweiser for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you gotta do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. Overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the free beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Work it, make it, do it. Makes us all better, faster, stronger.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, tonight's show brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. Going to tell you much more about them in just a couple of minutes. You know, the NFL is seeking now possible replacement referees if the collective bargaining agreement is not reached between the league and its officials. This is a story that's not going to, create a lot of discussion by football fans. To me, it's enormous. It is. It's time for a massive change. And it begins with full-time officials. I think it should also include visiting Shmunez Vision because it appears their eyes suck. I think that a physical needs to be improved, the physical guidelines to be a referee. Okay? The only folks who appear to be older are those who are called upon to check on a golf ball at any assorted hole, at any assorted golf tournament on the PGA Tour. Okay, it's around the same age. You notice those guys are always on the hole, but they're never there. It's like they're in a truck somewhere, or in a golf cart somewhere, and you got to wait to... They're talking about speeding up the game, yet the rules official is never there when you need him. I mean, was it Oberg's ball that was plugged on Friday or Saturday? I'm trying to remember the day it was. I think it was Oberg. And we were shocked that actually that ball could be removed straight out of the rough. Okay, it was shocking to me. But again, that it took that guy a whole heck of a lot of time to get there. The NFL, this is the right opportunity to change everything. Make these officials younger. Make the older officials the eye in the sky with the experience who has the opportunity to now throw the flag and communicate with the referee on the field. You need to start to take this seriously. We see too many games in too many sports where the umpires, the referees, the officials, they make mistakes. And again, this is going to be buried. To me, this is going to be a really interesting NFL owners meetings that begin on March 29th. There's a lot of issues, and most of them center around common sense, something that you and I could get done over a 12-pack, and let's say, let's go with 30 oysters from the Blue Crab House, which, by the way, they're only $1 tonight. That's right, $1 each and every Wednesday at the Blue Crab House. So you can get a lot of language, a lot of stuff that's coming out, and that'll be late next week. I love the NFL's owners meetings. I really, really do. But this is an opportunity here to nail this down between the NFL and the NFLPA. And the NFL and the NFLPA, they are going to tell you they have much deeper concerns, like an 18th game, like making the game more healthy. You just had the promotion of J.C. Tretter last week, who is now the NFL Players Association executive director. Huge responsibilities defending the players. He's got to fight for more money. And this is going to get ugly. I don't think it's going to be anything like baseball where it appears we're headed towards a work stoppage. It really does. And I hope they can get together. I don't know if baseball can strike again. I don't know if baseball can lock out and expect the fans to come back to them. Not this time around. It took a long time for many to come back. And frankly, it took the long ball. It took the steroid era to bring fans back to the game. You know, we watched last night. People don't like 3-2 games, even though there were bombs last night. Ibar. Certainly Harper's 2-run job. People don't really like pitching. They don't like great defense. They just want to see the long ball. And that's okay. People like hockey for the fights. People like NASCAR for the wrecks. Never been able to figure all that out. But again, I'm not going to try to change your opinion. I am saying, though, this is huge. This is really big involved with the officials. It's the right opportunity. And you know, I have fun at their expense. Okay. Replacement officials, that ain't it. I mean, if you think it's bad now, replacement officials is not the answer. Okay? They're not regular officials for a reason. They're not good enough. So just remember that. Let's run through the bracket. I'm going to do this in record time. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you a little bit here, then the rest on the other side. Then we'll bring in our buddy John Osher to talk about the Jaguars. All right, I have Duke over Siena. I have Ohio State over TCU, although I thought about it a little bit with the Horny Frogs. St. John's over Northern Iowa, Kansas, moving on past Cal Baptist. Louisville will advance. I thought about that one a little bit against South Florida. All right. I got Michigan State over North Dakota State. I have UCLA, UCF. I thought about that one a little bit. But I'm going with the Bruins, UConn. So that's in the, I didn't even say here, I guess that's the East. Florida, okay? That game's getting underway in about 25 minutes. the winner of Lehigh, and Lehigh's favored by 3.5 points here against Prairie View. We'll keep you updated. I have Florida winning. I have Iowa winning. Okay, Clemson's had an interesting year. I think Iowa the better team. Vanderbilt, Nebraska, UNC, Illinois, St. Mary's, and Houston. All right, let's slide to the right side of the bracket. I have Arizona. I have Utah State knocking off Villanova. Wisconsin and Arkansas moving on. BYU, big win by Texas. We had two games last night. The 2 games last night that were decided by, I believe, 3 points total. May have been 5. I'll have to look at it again. But whatever it was, it came down, to the final seconds. That big jumper there by Texas with 1.1 seconds remaining. Good enough to knock off the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. I have Gonzaga. I have the U of Missouri. And I have Purdue moving on as well. All right, I have Michigan. I have Georgia over St. Louis. I have Texas Tech. I have Alabama. Boy, if Tech was able to hold on to their big man, they would be really dangerous. I mean, you could be without 2 massive big men in this game. I mean, John Shire of Duke is saying that Pat Gonba could go as early as the second game. He's not going to play in the opener for Duke. Tennessee, Virginia, Kentucky, and Iowa State. All right, when I return, we'll run through the remainder of the bracket. We'll get to the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, and the National Championship game. So all of that is upcoming. Tonight's show is brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. Man, there's been a lot of tragedy around here as of late, and I hate it. I do. Okay, car accidents as well. I saw one the other day that just looked brutal. And I don't know what the end result was, but, it just kind of took me by storm when I saw it. It was one of those pause and, just kind of shake your head and you're like, oh, boy, I hope they're okay. And we have it all over the place now, all right? There's a lot of bad driving out there. There's a lot of car accidents that happen. And in a lot of these situations, you're the victim. You're not at fault. And right now, that could be you. And you could be sitting there not being able to go to work because you're beaten up physically. You need to see a doctor. Your car is wrecked. You can't afford to get it fixed. You need to call Rick Alexander right now at the Alexander Law Practice. For starters, no retainer fee. No consultation fee. No phone call. We're going to bill you on the other side of it fee. No. You're never going to come out of pocket. Okay? Never. You're not going to pay anything for the services of Rick Alexander. He's local. He's one of yours right here in Jacksonville. Sure, these other law firms, they're outstanding. Statewide, nationwide. But with Rick Alexander, you're going to get the hands-on care and the hands-on experience that he has had for more than 3 decades, okay? And this is why he's doing it now and has for quite some time by himself and with a few others at the Alexander Law Practice. So, best bet, check him out there. Go to the website. You can also call 400-6600. But I really advise that you just go to their website, which is Alexander Law Practice. Again, no retainer fee. Give them a call today. Explain what has happened. They'll put together a personal package for you that is going to be very prosperous. All right, I've made it all the way through the first round. Let's move on. Pick the Sweet 16 on the other side and get you all the way down to the National Championship. As of course, 2 more games tonight, then 16 on Thursday, 16 on Friday.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Indoor golf in Ponte Vedra is here. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Play the best courses in the world at Back 9 Golf. Top simulators, analytics to improve your game, or just have a blast with friends or a client. Get this, you can bring your own beverages, including cocktails. Go to back9golf.com, book a tee time today. Membership opportunities, lessons, Back 9 Golf in Ponte Vedra, next to Nice High School. Back 9 Golf, where golf never sleeps.
The
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
Pages in your mailbox right now. Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go. Pages in your mailbox right now.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LAUGH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LAUGH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LAUGH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey gang, Prosser here for my friends Chad and Sandy. What are your concerns? What struggles do you anticipate when it comes time to sell your home? What is it that bothers you? What's keeping you from getting max money as quickly as possible? Well, I don't know what those reasons are because I know they're all silly. Because Chad and Sandy have one down to the line guarantee. Your home sold guaranteed, or they will buy it. It'll be at a price and a rate that you agree upon beforehand. So if you need to sell now, fast, easy, stress-free, and you need max price, then you need Chad and Sandy. The government's making moves intended to push mortgage rates lower. The last time rates dropped, we saw a selling and buying frenzy. Now's the time to prepare. It's time to call Chad and Sandy. Darcy in San Jose did. I wanted to move to a more walkable, vibrant area. Within 3 days of working with Chad and Sandy's team, I found the perfect home. They do it stress-free with a guarantee. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200. That's chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
But you just saw the commercial of Back 9, brand new golf facility. It's state of the art. My buddy Aaron's out there if you want private lessons, golf lessons. What's really cool about it, well, a number of things.
I'm right here, Rick.
What's that?
I'm right here.
As far as what?
You said I'm out there?
Oh, no. I'm talking about my buddy Aaron at Back 9 Golf.
Oh.
I know you're there. I know you're there. It's tough to miss you. It's like it's tough to miss me. But you don't golf. We've already had that conversation, haven't we?
No, I don't.
You don't drink. You don't golf. You're happily married. I met your wife. Lovely. I can understand why you're happily married. You understand how rare that is to be happily married?
I don't think I understand, no.
I think it's like less than 5%.
Is that real?
Well, 50% of relationships end up in divorce, right? I mean, why work it out when it's just so easy to say, see ya, lawyer up?
I think of it as Why start at all if you're just going to quit halfway through?
You know what? That's the way it is. People my age. And we wonder why our kids spend 2 weeks at a place working and say, that's it. I don't want to work here anymore. The manager looked at me wrong. I'm going to quit. We as parents, we quit, right? Argument. Let's just move on. So anyway, back 9, right there on Phillips, right before Nice. You don't have to deal with the rain. Don't have to deal with the heat, okay? Before you know it, it's going to be 95 degrees out. It's going to be absolutely vicious. You can play the top courses in the world. And it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can bring your own beverages. My lifestyle, up until 3 in the morning, man, I can see me getting out there around 1 a.m., drilling a 12-pack, and coming back and, sleeping it off. Of course, that would be a weekend night. I would never do it before I come here to work. But check it out, back 9, and again, ask for my buddy Aaron over there. Does a real good job with private lessons. Okay, let's get back to where we're at. Let's move to the Sweet 16. I have Duke over Ohio State. I have Kansas over St. John's.
Hold on, I don't think you did the second round.
I am doing the second round. Duke over Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Kansas over St. John's. Michigan State over Louisville. All right. Going with UConn over UCLA. Florida over Iowa. Vandy over Nebraska. Illinois over UNC. And Houston over St. Mary's. Let's move on to the right side of the bracket, all right? Arizona over Utah State. Arkansas over Wisconsin. BYU over Gonzaga. The U over Purdue. And what many will take as an upset. Purdue 27-8 on the year and a 2 seed. I'm going with the U here. Michigan over Georgia. Texas Tech over Bama. Virginia over Tennessee. All right. A 3 seed here. Virginia have them moving on. More on them in a moment. And Iowa State, I'm going to take over Kentucky.
Interesting.
I actually found myself watching a little bit of Big 12 basketball this year because of Texas Tech. It's too bad they lost their big man. I would have put them in the Final Four if he was around.
Why Miami?
I just watched them play a lot of basketball. I think they're well coached, and I think they're playing better ball now than they were earlier in the year.
Okay.
And I watched both games against Florida State. Have not watched Purdue play a lot, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie my way through the bracket.
The only time I watched them was against Michigan, and that was a good one. That was a good game.
All right, let's get to now the movement to the Elite Eight. It's Duke and it's Kansas. I'm going with Duke. Duke's got big-time injuries, man. They're only using a 7-man rotation. We'll see about Caleb Foster, who's got the foot, and, that is a fractured foot. And we talked about Pat Gamba, who's going to be back earlier than Foster, although Foster's saying he's going to return. It's just a matter of when. You got to win 6 of these games in order to win the Natty. So, anyway, I'm going with the Dukies. Going with Michigan State over UConn. Just damn. Pure chalk doesn't always work. And I got to pull an upset here at some point. And for the most part, in this particular bracket, that's what I've done. Outside of Michigan State here over Connecticut. All right, Florida, as I said, over Iowa. Florida and Vanderbilt. Well, we just saw what happened, right? Things change once you move into the NCAA tournament. I think Florida knocks off Vandy this time and moves on to the Elite Eight. I'll take Illinois over UNC and Houston over St. Mary's. All right, Arizona over Arkansas. BYU over the U. Watch BYU play Tech not too long ago. And Michigan over Texas Tech, Virginia over Iowa State. I know that's going to surprise a lot of people. I mean, Iowa State's one of those teams that, unless you're a diehard fan, you probably don't know a great deal about them. Very good basketball team, 27-7 this year. All right, let's get to the Final Four. We are at the we're at the Elite Eight. Let's get to the Final Four. I have Duke over Michigan. So I have Duke going to Indianapolis, which is a tremendous place for a Final Four. First Final Four I ever went to was in Indianapolis, and I've been to a few of them. They just do the Final Four about as well as any city can. Houston over Florida. I just think it's too difficult to repeat. I do. And, you know, you got to play that game in Houston. Once we get there, that's going to be a major complaint by Gator fans. And it's somewhat understandable, the fact that Florida's the 1 seed and Houston's the 2 seed. Why did they put Houston in the South? Why did they allow Houston to play an Elite 8 ball game to get to the Final Four in their hometown? Even though they're telling us that, like, Rice is the hosting team, which is just laughable. But anyway, I'm going to take Houston here. I have Arizona knocking off BYU, and here comes the surprise. I'm going Virginia over Michigan. We get to the Final Four. I have Duke over Houston. And, man, I really, really considered Houston here. If Houston was on the other side of the bracket, I would have taken a Duke-Houston national championship game. I honestly think that that is your national title game. And I have Virginia over Arizona. I have Duke knocking off Virginia. So an all-ACC national championship game with Duke, despite the injuries. Can they get healthy in the next couple of weeks and certainly fortify what John Shire is able to do with only a 7-man rotation? He's down 2 starters. We know that. So I'll grade it. I'll keep it going. I'll let you know, win or lose. But there you have it. There's my bracket 2026. All right, we got much more to do. Going to take you up until 8 o'clock. John Osher is about 12 minutes away. We're going to go full throttle on the Jaguars when we hear from the senior writer at Jaguars.com.
Where legends draft and drip to the checkered flag.
Right into it! They crossed the line, and guess who wins the race?
This Sunday at Darlington.
Wow!
On Jacksonville's high-performance NASCAR station.
Oh, my goodness!
1010 XL.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pick it here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
The Florida Forum welcomes world-renowned chef and humanitarian Jose Andres at the Center for Performing Arts March 31st. His impact spans the globe as founder of World Central Kitchen, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, and global leader using food as a force for change. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wilson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
I'm Frank Frangie. Life-changing is an understatement for the 180 I've seen with my daughter Amber. She's now lost over 100 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 9 months. A true 180. Not just on the scale either, in her energy, her confidence, the way she lives. And what I love about Awaken 180 is we knew it would work. It wasn't a hope. It wasn't a guess that maybe it'll work. Amber started the programming knowing this was going to be her solution. Now, you've heard stories from our hosts and clients and probably people you know personally who've reclaimed their life thanks to Awaken 180. It works for the person who needs to lose 25 pounds. It worked for Matt Hayes, who wanted to lose 40. It worked for Hacker, who's lost more than 120 pounds. And it's worked for Amber, who's well over 100. That's why I believe in it. Whatever your scale number is, call the number that will work for you. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Once again, that number is 844-346-1800, or you can reach them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I get a lot of hockey stuff tonight, which I like. A lot of hockey questions, some good games, some good ones a night ago. Dallas at Colorado tonight. I mean, combined, they only have 28 losses. You're talking about 86 wins and 28 losses. And Dallas is doing all of this without Tyler Seguin. So that's on tonight at 9:30. And I struggled to find the World Baseball Classic last night. I had to call the GF out of the bullpen who found it. This streaming for guys like me is hard. It says this game is on TNT and HBO Max. All right, I got both. So I'll be able to watch it. But you know what would be really hard would be to break into someone's house. Let's say you had like 10 minutes. To break into someone's house and then on top of that, figure out how their television works and to put it on an actual game. Because I've never been to including here, I don't even bother. Okay? I mean, we got a beautiful TV right here in the studio. I've never been to a place where the television's set up with the remotes. And the first thing is when you go to a place and you see like 3 remotes on the table, you know that you're screwed. This must really have a factor with like babysitters, right? Or maybe babysitters don't even watch TV anymore. They just do everything right there on their phone.
You have cable, Rick?
No, I've got the whole streaming deal, the YouTube TV.
Yeah,
I mean, you name it, I got it. We just did our tax. My GF did the taxes, and I just sent them off.
Right. It's not that. I mean, it can be a little overwhelming sometimes with all the different. I mean, my parents have the same thing. They're like, how do I get the game on?
Oh yeah,
it's just.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you something, Aaron. When I was a kid, I used to have to get up off the couch and turn the TV.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember.
But at least you knew what was on and where to find it.
Right.
I haven't been able to get caught up with this technology. And sometimes it's really, really, really aggravating. I mean, it's cool that everything's out there. And like, you know, youngsters can figure it out. But I really struggle trying to figure out. It was on Fox. I couldn't even find the World Baseball Classic last night. So anyway, but hockey's getting really good. There's no doubt about that. And this is a prime example of that with the Stars at the Avalanche. You know, I've been actually let me scratch that because I want to do this on time and bring in John Osher. I had something I was going to raise. I'll get to it a little bit later on in the program. Let me tell you what's happening as far as who will play the Gators next. We are all locked up at 11 apiece. It's Lehigh and Prairie View A&M. Where's Prairie View A&M? Is that in like Idaho? Is that in one of the Dakotas? Is that in Montana? Where the heck is Prairie View A&M against Lehigh? I believe Lehigh is in Pennsylvania. I want to say that. Could be in upstate New York, but I think it's in Pennsylvania. Anyway, the winner will get Florida, and they're midway through the first half, all locked at 11 apiece. All right, John Osher is going to join us. He is coming up at 7 o'clock. We'll check in with the Jaguars senior writer on the other side.
And I think to myself,
Are you?
This is 1010XL.
oh, what a wonderful world.
Yeah, I know how awful it is to get injured, but not like my friend Tom who got rear-ended last year. Tom McManus here. Morgan & Morgan can help you. They're the largest personal injury law firm in the nation. 1,000 lawyers, 100 offices across the nation, and over $30 billion recovered. And guess what? They don't get a single penny unless you do. A proven track record with backup. Hard to find these days, but not with Morgan & Morgan. For the people, that's right. Get injured due to someone's neglect, get paid. Dial Pound Law or check out forthepeople.com.
For the greenest, luscious lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
Patrick Young here, a.k.a. the Big PY, and you know I love my Florida Gators. Now you can hear my Gator basketball instant reaction following each Gator Hoops game. Look for my takes on the social channels of 1010XL. Brought to you by VanguardSportsLeagues.com.
If you've been in an auto accident, you can count on the experts at San Jose Collision to return your vehicle to pre-accident conditions. San Jose Collision can also provide a fresh paint job to freshen up your vehicle or completely change its appearance. They can paint and repair all foreign and domestic cars and trucks. When quality and professionalism are important to you, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Budweiser for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. Overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the Free Beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL. Pitched by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, They can't offer you the quality at the price that Window World can.
And with Window World, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, Window World and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with Window World, and to top it off, Window World windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with Window World. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
All right, Jacksonville, you know spring has officially arrived when the pollen's flying, the grass is growing, and your septic system starts thinking about getting your attention. Trust me, a simple pump out now can save you from a disaster that'll have the whole neighborhood holding their noses. That's why you call Duck Duck Rooter the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. Real pros, not somebody guessing with a shovel. Right now, schedule your spring septic clean and get $50 off septic tank pumping. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
We got here. Is this Jerry Lee Lewis or what is going on? I like it. Elton John, Billy Joel. I don't know who else plays the piano, where it becomes almost the lead, right? I mean, you got like REO Speedwagon, where Roll with the Changes, where you've got the organ solo, which is just freaking outstanding, right? There's not too many organ solos. And that's right before the guitar takes off. Who was that you just played there with the piano? Do you know?
That was Linda Ronstadt? I don't Ronstadt? I don't know.
Linda Ronstadt.
I think I'm mispronouncing the last name. Ronstadt.
Linda Ronstadt. So that wouldn't be her on piano. She's the singer. You know, she once had a dwelling, and you know who lived there? Jackson Brown, Don Henley, Glenn Fry, and our next guest, John Oehser.
It's time for Oh No's with Jaguars.com's John Oehser. Oh no.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Johnny O, senior writer, Jaguars.com. How are you, John? How were those days there when you guys were bunking?
I don't know if I can get past the Ronstadt part. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah. And they started as background. Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah, but he called her Ronstadt.
Oh.
Like, he didn't know the name.
Yeah, but he's a young guy, you know?
Yeah, this might be, in my opinion, the greatest, like, pop singer of the last 50 years, the like rock singer, the unparalleled voice, and it's Ronstadt now. So I don't know. I mean,
My apologies for the mispronunciation.
It's a lot to process right before the tournament gets going.
Yeah. I saw a list the other day of like the greatest female singers of all time, and I was like, and I happen to love Susan Tedeschi. I think she's incredible, but I'm like, sure. Where's Linda Ronstadt? I'm like, where's Christine McVie? Where's Stevie Nicks? Where's Natalie King Cole?
Sure.
You can just go on and on and on and on. I'm like, where are they? I never was a huge Janis Joplin fan, but anyway, you know.
Yeah, not for pure voice. I mean, we can go on and on, but the Ronstadt's that shook me up a little bit. I can't lie to you. I mean, I'll try to push through.
Did you fill out your bracket?
You know, probably for the first time in 50 years, I didn't. I don't have much interest in it. I wish I did. and it comes up so quick now with the first 4 starting on, what is it, like Sunday night at 11. It's hard to fill out a bracket that fast.
Mm-hmm. No.
So I didn't, and I'm going to sit down tonight and sort of look at the brackets and get a feel for it because I want to watch it. But I just didn't have any passionate interest this year, and it's maybe I'm getting too old, or I'm just not the basketball guy that I once was.
Well, the game has changed, and you know the NIL is really hurting. 12, 13-man rosters and a couple of walk-ons. I mean, it's one thing in football, but that's still an 85-man scholarship situation with walk-ons. When you got a bench of 12 or 13 guys on scholarship, and then you're changing. And I've never been a guy who's going to, again, I use the expression, bite the hand that feeds me. I'm always going to pump up the sport regardless of what's happening. But you're spot on, man. I didn't do hardly any research this year on my NCAA bracket, where I remember times in the past where I spent all week. I spent all week looking at everything because it meant that much to me. I got to be honest. If I get blown out of my bracket on Thursday, I really don't even care anymore.
Yeah, and so I'm sure this is the old guy in me saying this, but, the thing that lost me for college basketball, and I know we'll talk about the Jags in a minute, but, in the day, the crotchety old man started his point by saying, you knew who all the guys were because they were there for 3 or 4 years. And I get we're never going back to that. But you hated Duke because you had to sit and watch Leitner for 4 years. Now you hate Cooper Flagg, and he's gone after 5 years.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
it's sort of, to me, that's where I get that all the rules are in place because it's right for the kids, everything. But as a fan, the engagement in the sport, it's just tough. It's tough to identify with even your favorite team anymore.
Yeah, Leitner lives down the street. He lives in Bartram Springs, right here in Duval. But yeah, and when I started in this business, man, Duke had him, Grant Hill, Bobby Hurley, Thomas Hill. They were there the entire time. You had Tim Duncan at Wake Forest for 4 years.
And they were all there for 15 years.
Right. I remember Joe Smith coming in. Maryland was in the ACC then. Joe Smith came in. I remember Jerry Stackhouse and Rasheed Wallace coming in. Then when they left after their junior year, it was Antoine Jameson and Vince Carter. I mean, it was incredible. And that's where I learned in the early 90s sitting courtside. And how could you not love college basketball then when these guys kept coming back? Now you nailed it. They play 1 year and they're gone.
Yeah, It's tough. Back in that day, I was a huge Carolina fan.
Oh, yeah.
And, I kind of watch them, but I don't really start ever until the tournament. So, I mean, look, it's a different era, and I'm sure there are people who are now how old we were then, who love it now, and something will change, they'll hate it.
Yeah.
But our era felt like it's past.
Yeah, and I made this listen, Florida won a national title a year ago, but I wonder if it felt the same as it did with the 04s. Because you watched those guys grow, win 2 national titles. You watched them get better and better every year that they advanced as far as their class.
Yeah, now get off my lawn, Ray. How about that?
All right. Well, with the Jags now, what's next? Last week we talked about the addition of Chris Rodriguez Jr. It happened right before you came on. They've kind of settled in a little bit, and I find it really humorous that a lot of national entities out there are ripping them in free agency. Again, it almost appears, John, that a lot of these people, nationally speaking, had no idea what the Jaguars have done in free agency the last couple of years and what their game plan was going in this year.
Well, national people tend not to dig into the weeds on individual teams, and there is more and more national people, and I guess they've done it forever, believe that free agency is what you build. They want to do report cards on losses and gains. And that's all fine, except that a lot of times big-time free agency doesn't work. You grade it in March, and that's all fine, but you don't grade it after the season when it really didn't work. They were never going to be incredibly active this year because they did their activity last year to try to build the floor of the roster. But I think moving forward, it could even happen this offseason. I think you're going to see this team do one or two splash big moves in the offseason at specific spots, but I don't think they're going to be major free agency players. And I think that's okay. I know even fans get a little irritated with me for saying this was a great free agency period because they stuck to their plan. They're getting their salary cap back in line. And frankly, I would rather see them not participate in big-time free agency because I've seen it not work so often and dig this franchise huge holes that it couldn't get rid of for years.
Yeah.
So give me this because this is what good teams do, even though the national analysts tend to forget that every March 15th.
The last 5 years, not including this year, but the last 5, the Jags were second in spending, $1.381 billion. $1,381 million they spent.
And until last year, when they spent, some of that money was last year, but it wasn't going after the Holy Grail. It was going after Robert Hainsey and Patrick McCarry and getting guys who filled spots. But they were doing it for sound reason. And it was really it turned out to be big money, but it was budget spending except for really like Jordan Lewis, right? So all that billion, where did it get you until you started doing it right? And I think I think Shad Khan has to look at this and go, oh, this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I would agree with that. John Osher, our guest, senior writer, Jaguars.com. So what do you believe now? I mean, the draft will be, 7 weeks or 5 weeks from tomorrow night, right? 35 days?
Coming up.
It's here before you know it. Do you not expect them to really do anything else until, post-draft?
I still think that there's a couple of spots, outside linebacker, defensive tackle, different spots. I don't think this team ever really stops looking. And it still would not surprise me that defensive tackle, it's such they need penetration at that spot. They need a little more pass rush. I don't know if it'll happen next week. To me, it might happen in week 3, where you might save some draft equity and go after a underachieving team, big time defensive tackle on that team that the team is selling.
Mm-hmm.
I just think at some point, when you talk about the equity, a Jacoby Myers type deal, where you just target a guy and say, we need this spot. I just think at some point, defensive tackle is the one thing we keep talking about that's hard to get impact in the second round of the draft. It's hard to get quick impact at defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep looking for that. And with this regime, I never put out of the question them to sort of come out of the blue and surprise you, because they don't mind being aggressive with unique ways to do it.
Yeah. And they're not afraid to make trades. We know that. And, there's been talk about Zach Zeiler out of Miami. He's been mentioned a little bit. You've still got a couple of defensive tackles who are aging but available in the interior defensive line. So we will see. John, go listen to some Carole King, man.
Looking forward to it. She's not with Linda, but she was pretty good.
I love her. Yeah, I love her as well. No doubt. Hey, thanks as always. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
There he goes, John Osher, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Love Carole King. If I was to list like I have, my top 25 list, which I change a little bit, and I can rattle it off. I love women in everything except for fighting. I know it's, athletic, and they're competitors, and every time the UFC comes through here, there's always at least one women's fight on the card, sometimes two. I don't know why, but on my phone, when things pop up, I followed street fights and stuff like that. I can go all the way back to the days of like Kimbo Slice and who's the guy I had in studio a couple of years ago? Jorge Masvidal. He came in. We had Ken Shamrock come in. We've had several others as well. And I don't mind that. I don't mind watching dudes fight, whether it's, on the street or if it's in a cage. Women, no. I just, no. That's not going to do it for me. Whenever a women's street fight pops up, I immediately go to the next video or whatever it is. But believe it or not, if I was to list my top 50 rock and roll bands, man, I don't know. I think you may only have 2 women on there. And it's from the same band. It's from Fleetwood Mac. I've never been a huge Janis Joplin fan. I mean, the Wilson sisters, okay, with Heart. Joan Jett, no. Pat Benatar, no. Now, when you get the ballads a little bit, all right, Carole King, Linda Ronstadt, that I can absolutely deal with. Who was, I can't even think of her name right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. Had a relationship with David Crosby, among others. Joni Mitchell. There you go. But that's really rare because, you go to a Sin Bin or you go to a dockside bar, whatever, women sound great. And, pop music is totally different, right? The hits is totally different. But I'm talking about my main genre, which is classic rock. I just don't have many, just being honest. But yeah, this came out. I read this about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago. Over the last 5 years, the Jaguars have spent $1,381 million in free agency. Okay, only behind Cleveland, which has spent $1,456 million. So, and look where Cleveland is. Cleveland's one of the few teams out there that still doesn't know what they're doing at quarterback. Here, they may draft one. They've redone the contract of Deshaun Watson. You would think it would be Shedeur Sanders' job, right? But they haven't come out and said that absolutely it is. As a matter of fact, let's spend a minute on that on the other side because, you're so fortunate now that that you have a franchise quarterback. And the expectations are that that's only going to grow in this offense. The excuses for Trevor, there were many, and we always went to them. One of them was the constant change with play callers. If you go back all the way through the end of his career at Clemson, through his career here in the NFL, finally there is consistency with Liam Cohen. And even if you lose Grant Udinski in a year, Liam Cohen is still your play caller. He is. That's why I was a little nervous when I heard that Sean Payton's given up the play call. And I'm like, what? But Sean Payton's done it for 20-plus years and did it with Drew Brees and is now doing it with Bo Nix. For Liam Cohen, he's done it for 1 year as a head coach. So maybe I just worry about things that I shouldn't worry about. And maybe that's the case when it came to this.
We need to find more heroes.
Sometimes they fly under the radar.
You think you can find others like her?
Taylor Dahl.
We found her and we weren't even looking.
On Helmets and Heels. Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix, with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
We know the madness is here, and there's no better place to watch than Fourscore Golf Tavern. Catch every buzzer beater on our huge screens while enjoying happy hour drink specials and our legendary watch party atmosphere. Want to make it even more fun? Rent a bay and bring your group for a watch party on your own private big screen. Grab your crew, grab a drink, and experience the real madness the Fourscore way. Fourscore Golf Tavern, where the tournament and the good times never stop.
Mark Watson here to tell you a little bit about hardballcreative.com. It's your online promo haven with thousands of ideas on how to promote your company. We're open 24/7, 365.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Nikki Sema with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. With this beautiful weather, wouldn't it be incredible to create more outdoor living space to enjoy your home to its fullest?
That's right. Spring and St. Patty's Day. What a great combination to create your new lucky
and charming
space.
And as you're spring cleaning, accentuate your home with new floors for a vibrant new feel from Lifetime Flooring.
Or even upgrade your patio or garage floor with Lifetime Floor Coating.
Come experience the Lifetime difference. Call or visit one of our showrooms today for our St. Patty's Day specials throughout March.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about not looking at the rear-view mirror of unforgiveness. It's so easy to keep looking in the past when someone has hurt or offended us. What we don't realize is that if we keep looking at the rear-view mirror of anger, it will cause us to miss out on the good things that God has in store right in front of us. Friends, looking in the rear-view mirror of the past will never give you peace in the present.
For more inspiration, log on to stjohnthedivine.com.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Check out i9sports.com with spring and summer registration open right now. In the gym or on the field, and now at Tocoi Creek High School and Westside Middle. Check it out, i9sports.com.
Most people think we only know sports around here, but they're wrong. Frank Frangie here. I also know who to turn to when I need a floral arrangement, and that's Kuhn Flowers. When you need to send that someone something special, rely on Kuhn Flowers, online at kuhnflowers.com. When you head out for a night with friends or going to the big game, don't forget the best game plan to win the night is to designate a driver and guarantee a safe ride home. Hydrating between buds is the best play you can make. Bud Light, reminding all to drink wiser.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
So underrated is Christine McVie.
You can take me anytime you like.
I actually believe she has a better voice than Stevie Nicks. Now, Nicks has the bravado, you know, and the ability to take the voice. As far as her inflection, you know, to different spots. But listen to Christine McVie. I mean, it's just the late Christine McVie. Say that with a heavy heart. So anyway, getting a ton of stuff in there, getting all this stuff on ladies, and someone says Michael McDonald. Michael's like a background vocalist for every song that was written circa 1982, 83. I mean, it's just insane. I did see that documentary on Yacht Rock. I still can't get over Christopher Cross saying that he made his money to buy his, you know, instruments, musically speaking, by selling weed. And he had a great weed business. And then he went on, and I think it was one of his, it might have been Sailing. I can't remember what song it was, but it was a hit, massive hit. And he did it while on acid. I mean, if we were talking about Led Zeppelin or Pink Floyd or Bad Company or the Rolling Stones, okay, the Who, I get it. But Christopher Cross? Really? Hey, I told you, you're a UConn fan. When I got into this business, Pat Kennedy had a really good team. He had 4 guys who went on to the NBA. But UConn came in with Ray Allen, Jim Calhoun. I mean, it was different then, and everything was different then. But it was nice to know the guys on the team year after year after year after year. You've been a UConn fan for a while. They won some national titles. For the most part, they hung on to those same players. It just changes now. It's night and day.
Yeah, Shabazz Napier, Kimball Walker, those are the guys who won national titles with Jim Calhoun, and that's when I really started getting into UConn basketball. Back in those, I mean, that was, I want to say Shabazz Napier. I think that was 2014. Was that 2014?
Who was the big point guard? And I mean big by not in height, but he was not exactly svelte.
For UConn?
For UConn.
What year?
Oh, I don't know. They all run together now. It might have been the late 90s. It might have been around the change of the millennium.
I have to look that up.
Yeah. But he was a part of a national title team. I believe he was. Okay, 4060 Blue. It's a good instinct, Riggy. You don't want to see a woman get hit. Yeah, and there's no question about it, man. I hate it. I hate it. I do want to get to you, but let's spend a second on this, because Andy Dalton was moved today to Philadelphia from Carolina. Carolina is going to receive a 2027 7th round pick. The Jaguars are set. The division is set with Daniel Jones. They're going to pay him maybe $50 million a year if he does reach all of his incentives. But if you look around this league and the changing of the guard with 10 new head coaches, a very limited first-round quarterback draft where everything points to Fernando Mendoza going to Las Vegas. Right now, the only quarterback under contract with the Raiders is Aiden O'Connell, who I'm guessing could be hungover today after St. Patty's a night ago. All right. Pittsburgh's talking about getting Ty Sampson. Of course, Aaron Rodgers is going to hold Pittsburgh hostage. He's going to hold the NFL hostage. I'll tell you when Aaron Rodgers will make up his mind as to whether or not he's going to play. When he damn feels like it. All right. I mean, he's Aaron Rodgers, man. He's going to go to the wooden cabin. He's going to put on some Grateful Dead. He's not going to eat. He's only going to drink room temperature water for like 72 hours. And then he's going to decide. But in Atlanta, they got two wrong armers, two southpaws. Ian Cunningham has said it's a quarterback competition between Michael Penix and now Tua, who signed a one-year deal. Gardner Minshew was moved from Kansas City to Arizona. He actually signed as a free agent with Arizona. He's going to be battling Jacoby Brissett. What is Arizona going to do? Those are two guys who aren't getting any younger. You got to believe that there's going to be some youth movement there at one particular time. Geno Smith's the guy in New York, right? Tyrod Taylor's gone. Justin Fields was just traded to Kansas City. You got Brady Cook as the other quarterback under contract with the Jets. Kyler Murray to Minnesota. All right. It appears they're giving up on J.J. McCarthy. We talked about some of the real major strengths. It was a very good question I got yesterday. I get great questions from our listeners. That's why I'm always promoting the text line. 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, and on YouTube, 1010XL in tonight, because I'm not just saying this. I could very easily do a show without your questions. This just in. I do like to hear from you. I learn from you, and you tell me whenever I make a mistake, which I think has happened only twice in the calendar year of 2026. But if you look at Minnesota, look at what they did with J.J. McCarthy. They let that leak that they actually stopped throwing the ball over the middle because of his accuracy problems, where you had the pounding of the chest of Liam Cohen. And again, people, oh, my God, how are they going to survive this? Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, that went away in like a week. And the wristband returned. They felt each other out, and it worked. And the best thing that Cohen did all year any member of the team, anything he said, anything he did, was telling Trevor Lawrence to just go play football. Let it rip. Others, like Minnesota, would say, oh, no, don't throw there, don't throw there, don't throw there. So anyway, we don't know what's going on in Minnesota as far as a quarterback. Is it going to be Ty Simpson in Pittsburgh? Is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? Is it going to be Mason Rudolph? They drafted a QB a year ago right after winning a national title. Right, Kansas State fans? Or, in this case, Ohio State fans. Yet another transfer quarterback. 6th-round pick in 2025. Malik Willis makes all that money. Is he the answer in Miami? And then again, you get to Cleveland, and you try to figure out, is it Sanders or Watson? Great, the great debate there. Are they just going to never recoup anything for Watson? The amount of money they spent, the guaranteed money they spent. I mean, Cleveland's such a joke. It doesn't matter what they do. It's always going to be laughable. All right, so there's 32 teams. In my opinion, Atlanta, Arizona, Minnesota are the 3 teams in the NFC where you don't know who the quarterback is. In the AFC, you have Vegas, because he's a rookie. I mean, why not? You won 3 games a year ago. Just throw him in with Fernando Mendoza. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. And I guess you can make a case for Kansas City right now, depending on the health for Patrick Mahomes. So my count, you've got 6, maybe 7 of the 32 teams who still don't know what they're going to do at QB. That's a pretty good list. I mean, it really is. And, frankly, it's a good list not to be on. But we see almost as many quarterback changes a year. Frankly, we see more, and it's interesting, and I didn't do this for the reason, but the guy who used to keep the greatest chart on quarterbacks was the late John Clayton. And it popped up today on my Facebook memories that John passed on this day. I want to say it was 2022. And I really miss the professor. Everyone says nice things about people when they die. I think one of the greatest things that anyone can do when you're long in the tooth in a profession is be kind to others, especially those who are starting up. Tim Brando's a great example of that. John Clayton was amazing. What a nice human being. Every time I asked John Clayton to come on the radio, he would. And he had a general interest. And what was great about John is I believe he's the only one in the NFL that did it. He actually was on the Seattle Seahawks late in his career radio broadcast team and was on the other sideline. He would cover the visiting team. So in this case, he'd be on the Jaguars sideline. And I remember he missed one game because of COVID. He refused to go to the game. It really got ugly. I want to say the Jags went out there during COVID or maybe the year after COVID. I can't remember the circumstances. But there were some other games where, including the one here, it might have been the one when they went into the stands. And then I want to say there was another time. And, man, he was just so thorough. We'd be like next to each other for like, a dozen plays or something. Then I go behind the bench to get this and, lose them, be on the other side of the field. And he'd be texting. I mean, I don't know. I was just saddened to see that. He went too early. I don't know anyone outside of Sean Salisbury and those buffoonery comments he made on John Clayton who disliked him. He was a very, very likable man. And I think the NFL misses him. There's a guy who wouldn't say that the Jaguars got it wrong in free agency, that the Jaguars failed in free agency. Yesterday we talked about Pro Football Focus giving him a C-, and CBS Sports giving him the worst grade of anyone in free agency with a D-. John Clayton would have known that the Jaguars had spent a ton and that they were evening out the books this year and that they had some players that they have to try to re-sign that are coming up. And you know the five. Washington and Harrison on offense, and then obviously Trayvon Walker on defense, along with Antonio Johnson. I failed to mention Brenton Strange on offense. Well, rest in peace, John Clayton. You are missed. All right, much more coming up, including some of your questions. It is 7:34. Let me give you an update. Oh, my goodness. We've got a barn burner at the half. Florida's going to take on the winner of Lehigh, which is in Pennsylvania. I was right. And Prairie View A&M, which is in Texas. I got it wrong. Right now, Lehigh up 29-27 at half. Florida gets the winner late on Friday night.
Don't answer that.
Yeah. What's your name? This is 1010XL. What are you? Jacksonville Sports Radio. I'm watching you. On the video and social channels of 1010XL.
Indoor golf in Ponte Vedra is here. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Play the best courses in the world at Back Nine Golf. Top simulators, analytics to improve your game, or just have a blast with friends or a client. Get this, you can bring your own beverages, including cocktails. Go to back9golf.com, book a tee time today. Membership opportunities, lessons, Back Nine Golf in Ponte Vedra, next to Nice High School. Back Nine Golf, where golf never sleeps.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Pickett here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Budweiser for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. Overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the Free Beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Whether you're undertaking a major home renovation or just a simple repair request, American Electrical is your 5-star Jacksonville-based electrician to get the work done right. Experienced design building department working seamlessly with their electrical contracting department to help you create beautiful lighting spaces and electrical plans that make your house flow. And remember, with American Electrical, it's wired right at a fair price. Call American Electric at 737-7770. Look for that red, white, and blue eagle on the side of their truck, and you'll know it's American Electrical.
All right, Jackson, let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Free agency profiles are covered by Premier Outdoor Inc., a visionary of hardscapes and aquatics.
Jacksonville played it coy in the free agent game, avoiding the big splash. Their best move was re-signing cornerback Monteric Brown for 3 years and $33 million. After losing ETN to New Orleans, they found help in former Washington running back Chris Rodriguez. Liam Cohen is familiar with his skill set after coaching him at Kentucky. It's 2 years in Teal for the former Wildcat.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
It's good to have you back with us. The golden moment will be for the, you really going to do this, Baloo? The national champion Florida Gators, as they will play Friday night in their attempt to double up and win consecutive national championships. They'll do so against either Lehigh or Prairie View A&M. Right now, Lehigh up at half, 29-27. I think part of that, why I actually acknowledge Florida be a lot easy for me to do 7,000 other things, is that, again, I'm just so disgruntled with my alma mater. The alma mater has entered ex-wife material for me when it comes to Florida State. And I guess I shouldn't say that because I don't have, I'm saying as a stereotype. You know, when I talk like it in that fashion, I feel like I'm talking for a lot of dudes out there when it comes to their ex. If that makes any sense. Not specifically me and my ex-wife. But man, it's as bad as it's ever been. You know, I never thought I'd be embarrassed to say I went to Florida State. I mean, it's just awful. Okay, we're getting one after another, including from our buddy Marcus Matrix 904, who's also an artist. And we need to get him in studio. Big Baby Drip, a.k.a. Fatso. Marcus Matrix 904. We need to bring you in and get after it. But he tells me it was Christopher Cross, Run Like the Wind on acid. And it's right there for you to see during Yacht Rock. Did you ever watch Dexter on the serial killer? Who's basically a vigilante.
My dad was a huge Dexter fan. I didn't watch it. He watched it.
It got crazy at the end. I just binged on it. You know, people ask me why I stay up late. Well, that's one of the reasons. I stayed up late and just began, watching episode after episode. It got completely out of control at the end. As most series. I mean, that's the problem with series is that you run them too long.
Although I forgot to tell you, you were telling me about Dinosaurs on Netflix. I told my wife about it. She loved it.
It's amazing.
She loved it. I told her about it. I haven't seen it yet, but she said, "Oh yeah, well tell Rick thank you for the recommendation. It was awesome."
I just heard from the 7428 when I said Adrian O'Connell was probably hungover today after St. Patrick's Day last night. He said, "quote, the dude's not hungover if he took my advice and hit up on that bong." Well, I did that a few times at Florida State when I was a knucklehead. I could never do anything like that now, but just let me say one thing. Medically speaking only. If you were to rip a banger right before watching Steven Spielberg and Morgan Freeman on Dinosaurs, that may be the best thing you watch all year. Maybe I'll do it one night. I'm going to have a lot of belts in me. I'm going to have a lot. I just can't do it without the cocktails. I just do not know why. I feel like my head will explode. I never get paranoid except for when I do that. If you could make, why can't they grow leaves that have a non-paranoid feel to it? Now, I know others, they're just like, on the golf course or at the beach or 8 hours a day in their cubicle. It's a non-factor, but not for me. But I think dinosaurs would be absolutely incredible. 21:55. Oof, we're about to see how bad Kyler Murray is. If you think McCarthy can throw over the middle, nobody's been worse than that than Murray. Well, that was always the concern. Same with Young right now. Almost Gardner Minshew to some extent. Not being tall enough to accurately see over the middle. He gave me a toe popper, by the way. And I played it off as though I wasn't hurt. I was in immense pain. It was right down by goal line. I think he went out at like the 3-yard line. And I kind of prided myself on knowing the game and knowing that guys would slow up before they really ran deep into the sideline. And he stepped right on my right big toe with his cleats. And I almost needed a med. I almost needed, the bong wouldn't have been near enough. I was looking for Brett Favre, man. I needed Lord Favre. I needed painkillers after I got that toe popper. And
But that was painful.
Oh, it was awful. And my GF used to see things and still photo them and send it to me. And I was like, do you have the toe popper? Because she loved Kyler Murray because, she's an Oklahoma grad. Went to Tech for 2, then graduated from Oklahoma. So she's got like no assortment of like 40 quarterbacks in the NFL. It's ridiculous. Plus, she's a Dallas girl. So she loves Dak. She loves Kyler. She loves Baker. She loves Jalen. She loves, obviously, Patrick Mahomes. It just goes on and on and on and on. I'm like, pick a team, stay with the team, right? Yeah, no.
She follows all of them?
No. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. And then she has anger for Caleb, who had the audacity to leave and go off to USC.
Yeah.
I imagine I'm forgetting another one of the Oklahoma, Texas Tech quarterback situation. I mean, you had Sam Bradford for a while, but that's probably it, right? I think that's it. Yeah, I'm going to say that's it. Okay. Speaking of that's it, where is the time gone? Having so much fun here tonight. I mean, I started off all angry with the USA and the World Baseball Classic. Somehow this show turned into the Jaguars settling down to Christopher Cross taking acid while writing Run Like the Wind. Nuts. And the first time I've ever talked about a Kyler Murray toe popper. My goodness, man. And I took it like a champ, man. I refuse. There's like 3 people in the world who can't show that they're hurt. Okay? Athletes. I'm going to go with lawyers. And I'm going to go with sideline reporters, all right? Because there's an example of one right there where most would have caved in. They would have given in to the immense pain. I just sat back and took it like a man. So thank you, Kyler Murray. And I don't hold any grudges on him. I was too cocky. I should have moved back. I didn't. Try to prove to everyone that I know this game. And I'm a veteran. And I'm not going to get pushed back like others. I'm not going to run for the stands. All right. Hey, tomorrow night, come see us out in Ponte Vedra, Mr. Chubby's. I'll be out there 6 to 8, Hacker out there 8 to 10. Friday, Top Dog Tavern. It's a great gathering place right there in Bartram. Okay? We'll be out there 6 to 8. Hacker will be out there from 8 to 10.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Has someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI, domestic violence, and all criminal offenses. In your battle with the justice system, there's only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645. 354-5645.
Lola's Burrito and Burger Joint in Riverside, voted best burrito in Jacksonville by Folio Weekly. They serve giant burritos, juicy burgers, cold draft beer, and the perfect margarita. Enjoy happy hour Monday through Friday 2 to 7. And to celebrate the madness, $10 pitchers of Outlaw Light or 10 wings with a domestic pint for just $15. Don't forget to ask about catering. Order today at lolasburritojoint.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Hey, Hicken here. Springing forward feels better on freshly cleaned carpets and floors. Let Zero Res remove lingering grime and prepare your home for the brighter days ahead. Check out all of the raging customer reviews online. 4.9 Google rating. This month, $50 per room of carpet clean. Let's take 25% off hard floor cleaning, hardwood tile LVP, when you ask for the 1010XL special. Call 904-287-5727 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Spell it forward or backward. It spells the same. Zero Res.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Has any Major League Baseball player ever hit 2 grand slams in the same inning?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Fernando Tatis of the Cardinals hit 2 grand slams in the same inning in 1999. Both came off the same pitcher, Chan Ho Park of the Dodgers.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours. Of course, Roland Reach Plumbing has awards from Folio Weekly and the Bold City's Best. Now, Roland Reach is also confirmed as the Google Guaranteed Plumbing Service. Because when you do plumbing right, the word gets around. That's Roland Reach Plumbing.
At the First Coast YMCA, there's no place like this place, with programs and experiences that will bring your whole family together. Summer will be here before we know it, and Y Summer Day Camp registration is now open. Visit your local Y to secure your child's spot early for a season full of memories and adventure. Don't delay. Day camps will fill up. There's no place like this place, so visit your local Y to sign up or online at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnick. Nimnick Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnick Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Hacker Nation is here. We were just talking some baseball. I maintain, I think Hank Aaron is the most underrated baseball player of all time. He deserves more, and he doesn't get it. I saw this the other day. The New York Yankees have gone 16 years without winning the World Series. It's their longest drought ever, okay? 1 year shy of the drought they had from 79 to 95. Do you realize right now on any Major League Baseball roster, including the Yankees, there isn't one player in baseball that is still playing who was on that World Series team?
Wow, that's crazy. Now, what's the reason for that? Have just other teams caught up with them financially?
I don't know what it is, but I think it says a lot more about how incredibly successful the Yankees have been, that every single year somewhere there's a guy who won a ring in New York.
I mean,
they haven't done it now in almost 20 years.
I know you're a diehard. I'm casual at best when it comes to baseball, but I will tell you this. Last night, United States, Venezuela, that was pure theater.
Yeah.
A lot of that tournament was pure theater. This World Baseball Classic was fantastic.
Yeah, no doubt. Aaron Judge and many others. 1 for 26 last night if you weren't Bryce Harper. All right, we're tight on time. Give us a scouting report. Who looks better right now in this Prairie View Lehigh game?
Was actually watching it. Obviously, Florida gets the winner. Prairie View's got more of an outside perimeter game. Lehigh's got more guys in the front court. I was telling you, the great Hank Alvey for Lehigh, 10 points, 9 rebounds in the first half.
That's how we brought up Hank Aaron,
we got Hammer and Hank Alvey making it happen for Lehigh. I think Ruben Chinula would be okay if that was the matchup on Friday. But it's a good game. It was 29-27 at the half. We'll see what happens. Winner gets Florida on Friday night. And I know you and I will be on the road the next 2 nights. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Mr. Chubby's Ponte Vedra tomorrow night, over at Top Dog right there in Bartram on Friday night. All right, what's coming up?
Jared Bailey, SB Nation, going to talk a little NFL, and Kevin Brockway, the Gainesville Sun, previewing the Gators in the NCAA tournament.
All right, Hack, have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it. We always try to have a fun show. Even when I'm angry and I complain about something in sports, I honestly am having a good time because it's a release. Take down that word, people. Release. Find a way to get it all out of you. You're going to feel better. Man, I feel good right now. At 8 o'clock. We'll see you tomorrow. Ponte Vedra and Mr. Chubby's. Come on by, say hello. Should be a whole heck of a lot of fun. Good luck in your bracket. 16 games coming up on Thursday. How about that? For Aaron Williams, also John Osher, I am Rick Ballou. We'll talk tomorrow at 6.